So Maj, morning.
Morning.
As you are aware, you are about to receive an award that I hope you'll accept gladly. This is the Snooker Player of the Year for 100 break players.
Okay.
And the reason that I chose you after our work together was how much you had simplified your game and your approach and your method, and applied the correct practice and really showed the spirit of improvement and how to play better snooker, which is focused practice. You know, you're not doing 8 hours a day, you run your own business, so you've got to juggle it with that and family life. So within the time you've got, I love the intelligent way you would practice and devote your time to it and utilise the time best. And that's true snooker. That's an epitome of how to improve at snooker. So I think you ticked all those boxes and got some good results, which we'll hear about in a moment. But anyway, that is for you. If you'd like to open that and have a look.
Thank you very much.
Welcome, congratulations. I think that's a great job.
Yep, thank you very much.
And partly for your own longer term notes and memory, first of all, why don't you tell us how your performance improved in those 3 months at the end of last year, or 2-3 months? What was your experience of improvement most noticeably?
Yeah, well, like to start with, a big problem that I had, which I didn't know, was my bridge hand.
Mm-hmm.
Which I never even bothered looking at my bridge hand.
Yeah. Because you think it's just so obvious.
Yeah.
How can that be wrong?
Yeah, and I think more than anything, I think like what we call it, the lazy thumb. To keep it high and mighty.
Lazy thumb syndrome. Yeah.
And that was one of the first things that I put into my practice.
Yeah.
Like every time I go in, I'm going to make sure my bridge hand is solid.
Yes.
I've got to make sure my thumb's solid, no movement in my thumb, and also keeping that bend in my arm. And just by implementing that, my long potting, it improved literally straight away.
Yeah.
On my long pots, where I would get in probably 3 or 4 out of 10, it straight away into 6s and 7s.
Okay. Yeah.
So straight away, obviously, by getting that improvement, obviously gives it confidence.
Yeah.
So that will help me strike centre of the cue ball, which is like one of the biggest problems what I came here originally for. And then after that, like I said, the routine book that you give me, practicing the break building routines that you've got in there, simplifying the shot selection, where before choosing to stood around 2 cushions, screwed around 2 cushions because it looks better. But you're always too hard or too soft. Like
boring snooker.
Yeah.
Short travel, slow shots.
Yeah.
Simple run throughs like Mark Williams.
Yeah. I haven't forgot that. Using number 4, just keep
top
it,
of the white ball, running it through.
Yeah, just run through, just roll them in.
Yeah.
Leave the perfect angle. So all you're doing is just rolling balls into the pockets.
Yeah.
And I just found by obviously doing that, I was hardly playing any shots. Above say 5 or 6 on a scale of 10 for power. Yeah. And obviously it makes the pockets bigger.
Yeah.
So potting became easier.
Great.
So all in all, it was.
In your practice routines, what did you do there that helped particularly?
There was one of the routines what I used to do when I first come in were the alignment routine that you give me, putting a long red up, just walking up, line up to the cue ball, no feathering, and just cue straight through to check if I'm cueing straight.
Well, to check if you're getting down on the line correctly.
On the line of the shot,
yeah.
And then also the silent push shots to make sure I'm cueing.
So it's a centre cue ball practice, isn't it?
Because that was probably one of the biggest issues I had because of my thumb movement. I always like doing that first, just to make sure I'm
to make sure the thumb is stationary. That centre cue ball exercise.
Moving. Leading on from there.
Yeah, because obviously if you're playing that shot, that push practice.
Yeah.
If your thumb's moving when you do that,
yeah.
there's no way it's going to go central, is it?
Yeah.
So that forces the thumb really. You move the thumb and that ball is not going in. But because when you're pushing the ball like that, any small exaggeration off centre or error off centre is you're going to miss the ball. But that's good to hear. What else helps you particularly in practice?
In practice, I'd say I was lacking obviously concentration, and like so we did the pink routine with the pink, putting them into four corners, circulating, making sure I'm not using no cushions. I found
putting the pink
in four
successive
clockwise, just keep going rotating, and see how many you can get. I just found that really useful for concentrating because it's easy to pop the pink, but it's landing perfect each time, and which obviously help with making sure
your
I'm
angle's got to be
cue ball.
perfect.
I'm striking the cue ball where I want every time. So
yes, and also planning it before you get down.
You
can't just sloppily get down and hope for the best.
Because as soon as you do that, you realise as soon as you do that, you'll end up straight and you're starting all over again. So that helped. Also practicing the lineups, but using the cueing up to the cue ball, touching it, and then feathering and then playing the shot. So getting used to cueing right up to the cue ball without touching the
So one of the issues you had was tip quite a distance from the cue ball, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So that, can I have the white ball, please? So that routine is, it's the best routine I've found to help players who are, I had a client yesterday who was over here about an inch or so more behind the cue ball to dress. And it's just a fear, we don't want to touch the white, but every millimetre closer you are on average, you see the angle better. Aiming actually improves, and also you know the height of the ball that you've hit that much more clearly, so it helps with feedback and learning. And that drill that you've done there, where you touch the white 3 times, that does help the subconscious just to be more comfortable going closer. And even if you get an extra millimetre or 2, that will help. Good.
So that exercise helped me, and I think also actually the cue, the recording we did for the cue action. That was something.
The cue action recorder device.
Yeah, the recorded device.
So you got your graph of your cue action,
that helped a lot because coming into it, like I said, from the last notes that we've got, because I kept reading over them notes to refresh myself, and obviously when I were in and out of the balls, apart from the long shots, the cue action was different. It was more rushed. When I were in and out of the balls, because you're like, well, no, this is an easy shot, but they're the ones that you miss. So I still got to terms of not rushing them. So bringing that into the game, obviously realising, how much time, like even when we first did the recording and we tweaked the cue action, realise that how much time you've got and how important it is to have that pause and the really slow, pull back,
control
backswing before you actually follow through, and that follow through obviously not all of a sudden, to actually let it come down slowly and then speed up. That just, to be honest, it's like once you get that into your game, it's just amazing how well it feels, because you're hitting that cue ball. And when I first started doing it, as I was doing obviously getting better, and your time is getting better. It was like, I was like, I'm hitting the ball too hard. And I'm not hitting it too hard. It's just because the timing's that good. But as soon as you get used to it and learn how to control it, it's, I think probably, after being able to hit centre ball and being able to cue nice and smooth with that control backswing.
It's like playing on a faster table. That's all.
You can make a slow table look fast.
Yeah, so that, what this does is, it shows how much of a compartmentalised thinker you are,
Yeah.
which is just so important for improving at snooker. Because what you've done is you've actually reduced your ambition, because some players, they'll try and do everything all at the same time. But
Yeah.
what you've done, you've taken, okay, I don't want to build the whole wall, let's take one brick,
Yeah.
go back a step, lay that properly,
Yeah.
let the cement dry,
Yeah.
and then start again.
Yeah. Well, so that literally that's what it was. It's like when I got time, say if it were an hour in the evening. To be honest, most of the times I've been practicing, I've been going in about 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
You know, and just squeezing an hour.
Yeah.
You know, and some days I'd go in there and I'd be like, right, I'm only doing, you know, queuing exercises.
Yeah.
So I just do my long pots, my straight pots,
Right.
right middle pots, and that's it. That's my that's my queuing done for that week. Because you keep doing it. Sometimes then you know you're thinking, oh, should I change this? Shall I do this? Shall I do that? So I thought, no, I'm doing it well. I'm doing it bad. It is what it is.
Right. Very
And
good.
then the next time I come in, for example, I'm maybe off the black cannons, off the blue cannons exercises. You know, maybe Wednesday break building.
Yeah.
You know, so I just sectioned it off as it is, and obviously certain times when I thought some part of my game was not as strong as other parts, then I'd probably do an extra hour of queuing exercises or break building or whatever it is.
Yeah.
You know? But yeah, I didn't try to do, you know, break building, long potting, you know, cannons, this, that, the other, all in one day because it's too much to concentrate on.
Yeah, understood. And that is, you know, you've had 142 breakers, isn't it?
Yeah.
So you've broken your game down more than many 50 break players will do, because they'll fall into the trap thinking, oh, the gap between me and them on TV, they'll underestimate that gap
Yeah.
and think, well, I should put all those blacks easily.
Yeah.
So they'll tend to just play generally with no specific focus.
Yeah.
But it is interesting that the better the players are and the better their results, the more they break down into individual routines, which is, you know, it's counterintuitive to many lesser players because, you know, that's, you know, it's almost like going back